Hey everybody, happy Friday. You made it through another week. If you're tuning in from Las Vegas, it's going to be warm. If you're tuning in from somewhere shitty, sorry, it's not Las Vegas. Right? Yeah. That pretty much checks out. I'm here today with my good friend Stephani Ortiz.
Hi guys.
Stephani is the poo, as they say.
The poo, yeah.
That was from a Kirsten Dunst movie where she was a cheerleader from probably back when I was a kid and you were not yet born.
Probably because I haven't heard about it.
Stephani is the head in charge of Cast Design Group. I know it says designer and she does design, but Stephani builds some really, really incredible, fantastic stuff. And if you're tuning in right now, by the time we are airing the next webcast, the whole design, everything you're looking at for the layout of our segment introduction will be totally different because Stephani fucking rocked it.
Thank
you. I can't tell you how excited I am because this is probably, our 35th episode and it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I'm super psyched. Stephani and I get to work together, almost every week on some fun project one way or another?
At least you're contacting me.
Yeah, I know, right? Of hey, Stephani, check this out. Stephani, Cast Design Team, Cast Design Group, right? What's the
team?
URL?
Cast Design Team.
CastDesignTeam.com.
Yes. .com. Yes.
So check it out. We'll also link up all her contact information in the details on the video once it's published on YouTube. So you can actually get a hold of Stephani, kick-ass graphic designer. There's very few of you guys that I've ever met. Thank you. But I'm genuinely impressed with the stuff that you create and take on. And even if it's something that you haven't done before, you took on a very special project for me and absolutely crushed it. I hope it wasn't too much time.
No, I just love the challenge, to be honest.
Good.
Yeah, I love saying yes and then figuring out how I can do it. Who doesn't?
That's awesome.
What entrepreneur doesn't?
That's
like
right.
Doing that.
And she's cool doing that on someone else's nickel.
Yeah, as well.
But it's great. And Stephani is totally receptive. And one of the things I really like about us working together, everything that we've done, is you've really taken the time to learn about me or the clients I'm for you. You sort of channel their emotion and deliver something. What I think is impressive, and I always use this as sort of a barometer for a good designer or a bad graphic designer. If somebody comes in and says, well, show me some stuff you like. It seems like a cop-out. It seems like, so they're going to send things, you're going to mash up something that the client likes. But what you have done that I thought was really impressive is you take the time to get to know us, and you take the time to get to know our business and our personality, and that shines through in what you create. And I think it's super impressive that you can channel that into something and produce it. So good for you.
Thank you. I think it helps to be telepathic.
Oh, you're telepathic? Damn it. Well. Get out of my head. You don't want to know what I'm thinking most of the time.
I know.
So here we are coming into the end of April, March. What did it say about March? It's in like a lion, out like a lion, out like a lamb. But
I've never heard that. Never heard that.
All right. I grew up in a place where clearly reading wasn't a story, so the soothsayer, the maestro, had to come from village to village and sing us songs about. I'm just totally kidding.
Okay, I was like, what farm is that?
I know, right? So we're gonna go through, talk about some cool stuff. Stephani and I have a bunch of things to kind of show you guys when it comes to what works for online design and not. When we get to our website really sucks section. I've got a particularly bad one to pull apart, and I think after this, I'm gonna reach out to these people because whomever is managing their marketing really is hurting them from a monetary perspective.
Yes, definitely.
So, what happened around the web this week? Have you been following the latest web news and awesomeness?
I have not.
Okay, well, I got some cool stuff for you that I have stumbled upon. Okay. I always look for neat things that reference new technology, cool things that are going on in the world. This was one, where have I go? I've got it here. Here we go. IoT. Are you a follower of IoT, Stephani?
No, what is IoT?
So IoT is the acronym Internet of Things, which is all of our connected devices, all of our smart TVs, all of our smart cell phones, all of our smart watches, all of our wearable technologies. The fact that your sneakers will tell you how far you've ran if you have enough time in your day to ever go running.
Yeah, and that's scary within itself.
So this one was pretty cool. This is a fleet of trucks transport trucks moving goods and services that drove themselves all the way across Europe. No driver had to touch the controls for these things, which is really, really pretty impressive because, it's not a regular vehicle. And there's been a lot of stuff in the news about Tesla and their auto drive. Even Mercedes has an autopilot type of feature. But I think this is really kind of pretty impressive because it takes us one step further to the movie WALL-E, where we can just sit around on our floating chairs and have processed food fed into our nostrils through tubes. Right?
Yes, and that's very scary, hopefully.
But when you consider the human factor, certainly in trucking, right? A lot of drivers, they get fatigued, they get tired, they drive as much as they can because they often get paid by the hour or by the mile.
Yes.
That they're actually doing their job. So I think this is a pretty cool thing that they can put together. Even if it doesn't replace the human driver, it sort of does allow for an extra element of science when it comes to this stuff.
But you don't think at some point it will replace humans?
It's interesting. I wonder. So I have a theory that I'd be happy to share. 2,000 kilometers across 4 borders to get there. Pretty interesting piece. Yeah. Here's my theory on the thing. As I feel that we can't have automated cars and human drivers at the same time.
Yeah.
I feel that it kind of has to be. I feel that as long as we have human drivers with cars that have some smart automation, it's great. But once we turn control 100% over to the cars, I am worried that the people that are still trying to drive manually are going to make it a mess.
I see what you mean. There would be conflict right there between the human and the robot. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So.
Okay. So what would be your solution?
That we go 100% automatic driving cars.
That'd be a lot time consuming too. Instead of driving your car, you could be working or doing something else in the backseat.
I know, right? Masturbating or autoerotic asphyxiation or
whatever
smoking crack or whatever you want to do in the back of your car.
Rolling a joint.
Right. That would be good. You got to have a car with a really smooth. I'm a terrible joint roller from years back, but okay. So we had the automated fleet of trucks. That was kind of cool. And speaking of giving up our privacy, giving up our opportunity to remain humans, Amazon Prime has totally taken over. Are you an Amazon Prime member?
I am, but I canceled the membership.
How come?
I don't really order that much.
Okay.
To be honest.
I don't think a day goes by that an Amazon package doesn't show up at my house. And I am so bad about everything that even if it doesn't exist on Amazon, I'm like, they don't make it.
That bad?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we order all of our toiletries, like toilet paper, paper towels, soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes. Everything comes in off of Amazon.
Are the prices better?
I have no idea.
Even with shipping?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
The one thing I found that wasn't better, when I used to have a dog food was not cheaper.
Okay.
Because to buy a 40-pound bag of dog food, it costs a lot.
And then
to
have to ship it, yes.
But that's the weird thing, because it's just, I'm so ingrained that when I see us getting low on toilet paper at the house, I take out the phone, I order it, and they're like, oh, you ordered this last time, do you want to order the same thing again? Yeah. I mean, I'm a loyal toilet paper shopper.
I mean, who isn't, right?
I love my quilted northern. # love my quilted northern.
We should start that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Quilted northern would probably be awesome. They'd love it.
Right.
So I was reading around, and there's different numbers. They're saying 35% 2 years ago. It's almost 50% of American households have an Amazon Prime membership now.
Wow, that is
which
a lot.
Is a really, really locked-in audience. And it's interesting when you think about, let's say these other major big tech carriers. Mm-hmm. When Facebook changed their privacy settings, at any given time, the world freaks out. I'm done with Facebook. Yes. You're not done with it. You just don't like it. When Twitter changed the number of characters from 140 to 10,000 for certain posts, man, the world went crazy, right?
Yes.
When Pinterest moves a button, everybody can't handle it. But Amazon, I think, has done really, really good about sticking to their core competency, and the things that they add, like the drone service, like the Amazon Prime, Amazon Now, Amazon Movies, Amazon TV, Amazon Music,
it just
that I have
adds
asked
to
for.
it.
Yeah, it just sort of increases. And the fact that you're already paying them to be a member of this organization. There was a story that came out a couple months ago about Walmart having to close something like 230 stores because they've lost so much business to Amazon.
Wow.
And they're so far behind on the e-commerce space that I don't know that they'll ever catch up and come back. These big these big box stores like
huge
Walmart.
News.
Yeah. Kind of interesting stuff, right? So this was spring of 2016. We've got 70% of households making more than $112,000 have Amazon Prime memberships.
That's interesting to see how it might just migrate to pure online instead of having to go somewhere and shop.
Right.
I mean, it could totally happen.
I don't see why it wouldn't. My brother lives in the Bay Area, up near Google, and they get everything. They get their produce sent to them. They get their alcohol sent to them. They even get their medical marijuana shipped to them from some Amazon shipping service.
Wow.
So it's actually it's really sort of interesting that they. Hopefully he's tuning in, and here I'm calling him out for medical marijuana. Good job finding a new job, bro. I'm kidding. I'm sure it's a legitimate medical condition.
Right. 100% true.
Right. So back to our connectivity. I thought this was an interesting article. Social media is making us depressed. More than half the users feel under pressure to use social media, and it depresses them for a couple reasons. We often don't like pictures of ourselves. Right, so we're taking a selfie.
Yes.
It makes you mad. There's a lot of, I find that and it's not aggressive body shaming, but there really is a lot of beautiful people get a lot of press and attention.
Yes.
My whole Instagram feed is full of people that are way prettier than I am, that I scroll through and I'm like, holy cow, I should go to the gym instead of sitting here reading
Or
Instagram.
the ones who are at the gym posting the videos.
Yes.
You're like, okay, no, that's even worse.
I got it. I'll go to the gym, maybe. But it's really kind of interesting that, we're so connected to it and so addicted to it. And there was a research study that came out that said the reason that we are so addicted to it is to stay in the know. Yes. And if I break a piece of news to you, if I say, hey, Stephani, did you happen to see that video of the motorcycle guy doing 4 backflips? And you say, no. No. So I've won. So I get to break some news to you. I get a little tiny squirt of adrenaline.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy. And if I don't get to break that news, then I'm depressed because I'm scanning Facebook trying to find something cool and neat. Probably the whole reason I even do this show, so I get to break news and feel cool again. One of the cool kids.
So that's why.
I know, right? It's totally narcissism.
I think that's interesting, too, that they're getting depressed, being that it's supposed to be social and you have more people around you.
Right.
But at the same time, you're by yourself in a room.
Right.
Looking at a screen that's supposed to be social.
Exactly.
Not experiencing someone's energy and someone being around you.
Yes.
So that's what it is.
I don't know that this article actually gives a solution, but I'm sure there is a solution to it. Or not, but
Put your phone down.
Yeah, that's valid. That's one way to absolutely do it, but then you don't get to see the motorcycle video that I was just talking about.
I could see it later, though.
But by then we're on to a panda video.
Okay, well.
Flipping back to the world of IoT, Internet of Things, connected devices. This guy has taken his vape box thing, these box mods. You know much about vaping?
Somewhat.
So I had the opportunity to do a bid for a company that does what they call box mods, modifications to boxes that cook your vape at different temperatures.
Nice.
I guess.
Okay.
But this guy took one and he can actually play video games on it now, which is interesting. And it makes me wonder, what's next? What else are we going to be able to play video games on?
What kind of video games could you play off such a...
Well, this one just got a little 2D screen, so we can play Flappy Bird. But think about back to the time, back to like Game Boys, right?
Yes.
They had a screen that was that big. Mm-hmm. You could easily put that on a cell phone case on the back.
Right.
Buttons, control, yeah. And there you are. Or guess what? Here's a pack of gum. Maybe they'll put a piece of.
It could be just like a screen that you stick on and you just go.
Orbit Gum is not an official sponsor of this show.
Not yet.
I don't know. I like Stride Gum. I'm a Stride guy.
Now they will never be.
They're willing to buy my opinion.
Okay.
I think it's kind of cool because if we could start making LED screens cheap enough, I think it would be super awesome to put one into a business card.
Yes.
Right? How cool would it be to have an interactive business card? There we go. Let's work on creating. Yes. Let's build a prototype and start shipping around.
Okay.
If we could get them down to I don't know, what would you pay for an interactive business card? 75 cents a pop?
Ooh, it has to be more because it's like an LED screen on it, so maybe even $2.
You think? That's kind of a lot to hand to someone if they're not going to interact.
Yeah, but you would give it to someone that you really know is interested in your work.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
That's how you do it.
Or
else you pull out the paper ones.
I think I put a slideshow on mine of me going hey.
Call me.
White guy faces.
Yeah. That'd be creepy, just having a card of you right there with the...
I had the opportunity to ride. I got a friend who has a Tesla, and I rode in his Tesla, and it had the big, the giant big interactive screen. I'm like, what can we do on this? He's like, anything. I'm like, really? Let's watch porn while we're driving. And he says, yeah, cool, good. And so he's driving, and I'm dialing it in. He's like, yeah, I got to delete my browser history before my wife gets back in here.
Nice.
It was really pretty cool.
Nice. Technology.
So we're going to jump over to our viral video of the week. This originally aired about a week ago from when about April, I think it said April 9th on the video. And let me find it here. I'm sorry, I didn't keep it up on the screen. So this was something that I came across, and I find a lot of these viral videos on Facebook. I get connected, and Post launched a cool article about video marketing on Facebook not too long ago, and finding ways to really engage with people on Facebook. But one of the things that one of the big takeaways that I had was the fact that it has to be interesting, it has to be either funny, sexy, or angry, and it has to connect with you on an emotional level. I'm going to show you this one, and if it connects with you on an emotional level, we're going to have a laugh. But I'll tell you why I connected to this one as soon as I can get the link back up. Where are we? Okay. Here we go.
Stand-up paddleboard.
Right. Okay. So 29 million views on this thing.
That is sick. It reminds me of like the elliptical at the gym.
Right? $29 million views on this video.
Wow. Are they selling it?
Yeah. All right, so it's a promo video.
Okay.
You seem, let's call it unimpressed, right? You're sitting there and you said, "Oh, it looks like a paddleboard of the video." Mm-hmm. So I emotionally connected to this video, and the reason I said it was fucking white people, right? I am so embarrassed to be white right now because of this shit. Like, we can't just like swim or jog. We got to create some bullshit ass paddleboard that probably costs $10,000 to buy, so we can go out with our with our nerd friends and paddle around the sound, and then go back and drink our fucking Pinot Grigio and watch our Big Bang Theory.
I can see that happening.
I'm embarrassed. I'm race shaming myself on this one.
I thought it was really neat. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, but what do you think these things cost?
Yeah, the price is probably outrageous.
So a paddleboard alone is like the biggest waste of money. They're like $1,200 for a decent one. But now you add this thing into it, which is a whole nother additional contraption that's got, I'm guessing, a paddle underneath.
Yeah, a wheel, yeah.
And there you go. So, way to go, Seattleans.
Is that who did it?
I don't know who's going to buy this thing. I'm not going to buy this thing because I'm embarrassed. If one of my non-white friends buys it and is like, "Hey, you want to go for a paddle stand-up?" I'll just have to not do it.
Okay.
Because I've already set the stage that I can't possibly
You can't be seen on one.
Right. I'm
now we're all going to make
it
it popular, so you never go on one.
Right. So when we set this up, Katie, who does our production, told her to use the hashtag fucking white people, but she felt it was too inappropriate. So I'll just keep saying it throughout the movie. Video.
It'll catch on.
Show. We are going to jump into the sucky website portion, and then we're going to use that to segue into the visual presentation, the importance of looking good online. So we're going to take a look at this one. And this website sucks this week for a couple reasons. This is a professional medical organization in Las Vegas, and I came across their site by Googling the words Las Vegas dentist. So this comes across, and cosmetic dentist Las Vegas. There's probably a lot of people looking at this stuff. Yes. However, from cosmetic dentistry, right, if somebody's doing something to really make your smile look good, make your mouth look good, make your presentation look good, this website falls so flat it hurts.
Yes.
Okay, so...
And my eyes hurt.
Right. Here's a couple of things that are really, really bad with this website. First things first, we go through our 4 key components. Who we are, what we do, why you should do business with us, and how to do business with us. Okay, who we are is career dental analysts and blah, 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 blah. Okay, what we do, we create beautiful smiles. Okay. It would be a whole lot easier just to say that you're a dentist, because people know what that is.
Yes.
Right? Don't screw around by, adding all your, nobody cares about all your designations. We get it, you're a dentist, you went to school for a long ass time. Just chill your shit out.
Calm down.
Why do business with us? Your smile is our number one priority. Well,
it's not good enough.
Oh, you can achieve your dream smile. Yeah. Okay, so I still don't know why. Well, world-class smiles. Also totally ambiguous and not good. We've been in business for 20 years. We've done hundreds of full mouth restorations. We won an award. We're board certified. We're registered to do this. We're registered to that. All of the above. This website, the phone number is finally way down here under the fold if you're on a mobile device. Nice. And it's it's an image that's built into the site, so you can't even click it. See how it grabs the whole thing. So, pulling through. And then we jump down. Let's talk about the color selection really quick. It's so heavy and so dark that the only thing it calls attention to is this picture, which, if I'm looking to date some of these ladies, this looks like a good picture, but I don't know that I'm competent to hire, except the pregnant one. I don't
because she's a mother.
I don't date pregnant chicks. And when you're all done with that, give me a call. And then we come down a little bit further, and there's actually a video that is branded differently. VegasSmileAgain.com, talking about Power Proc 6-month braces commercial. Link to Facebook, link to Pinterest that aren't actually, they're actually links. But do we leave the site when we click on them? We don't know. We don't want to go to your social media profile. We're this far into the site. Yes. So from a design perspective, you probably see this a lot. Using this much color and this much background, this becomes a heavy site, right? Yes. It becomes slow to react, slow to open up, slow to interact. And the stuff that's in contrast is not your call to action, which should be make an appointment today. Click now. Come and visit us for a consultation. These are our main areas of service to learn more about it. What's in contrast is this bright
I was going to say that. Right. That's the first thing that draws my eyes is that bright green right there.
Right. And then even these, 43 top-level navigation links that are up at the top of the page. One says Tony Danza. I kind of want to click on it.
Who's Tony Danza?
Tony Danza from Who's the Boss?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there he is. Even that image was super slow to load because they haven't been optimized. And here's a broken image right here at the bottom.
Oh, yes.
And the site still says it's connecting. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, this site sort of fails on all levels. And, presenting yourself as a professional organization where people want to come in and trust you and know that they're going to get good quality dental care is one of the very first things that we need to present online.
Yes.
Who we are, what we do, how to do business with us. Don't waste time over designing, and we're going to kind of get into that again a little bit later in the show. But as a design expert, we're going to close out of that. I'm going to talk about this company really quick. And we talked about this for just a moment before we started the show. So let me load you up with a softball question. Okay. When you're going in and you're entering into a design project for the first time, take us through your thought process on how you decide what something should look like.
Okay. Usually I ask them, what are you going to use the design for? Because depending on the medium, it has to be built a certain way. Right. Of course, print is different than web. The other thing we would ask them is what's important to you, what kind of message do you want to give, as well as some examples of what you like and your competition as well. So we gather all that and then we come up with some concepts and we see if they like it or not.
That's good. So what do you tell people who, when you run into something, when you see something, does it drive you absolutely nuts if someone has a crap logo or a crap presentation?
Yes.
You want to fix it all?
I do. I mean, we advise them. We tell them, look, this is...
Would you say that one's bad?
Yes. I mean, one of the things about a logo is you want to make sure that, A, it's really easy to read, and B, it's very rememberable. People are going to remember you for it.
So this is where I went for lunch today, El Salvador 503, to get pupusas. Do you eat pupusas?
Ooh, I love pupusas.
And they're good. They took 35 minutes to make them, so I'll call it next time.
It was homemade, that's why.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But 2 pupusas and a horchata cost me $6. So that was a good lunch.
That is really good. Was it like $1.50 a pupusa?
$1.75.
Ah, okay. There you go.
Which is more than you pay downtown, but still pretty deluxe.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a look at something here. And this is a current client of ours and a discussion we had with a web developer about changing things around. Storage on Wheels, a fantastic company. They've been in Las Vegas for something like 75 years. They know their stuff. They sell storage units, metal container storage units. They look like train cars. They probably were train cars. You can use them on your property. You can use them for long-term storage. You can use them if you have camping, whatnot. You can put vehicles in them. You can even ship them if you need to. And it's cool. And they do a lot of business. They've got a really cool shop that's down by Nellis Air Force Base. It's super loud, but there's jets flying by all the time, so it's really pretty rock and roll, cool, badass. Their web developer came to us and said, we want to change the layout of the site. Now, that's not bad. I don't actually love this site. I think there's better opportunity to sort of bring some things in above the fold without being distracting. I'm not a huge fan of rotating sliders. However, this was the design that he landed on. I'm going to show this over to you here. Okay. What are your initial impressions?
Yeah, definitely not what he's trying to go for. That's more of a, like you said, a hipster kind of look with tattoos and...
Right.
I mean, maybe those are the kind of guys you would see working there, but not necessarily the type of, look that you want to present.
Right.
And this looks more like clothes.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the same thing. A fashion brand, a lifestyle brand that's really not a storage container. Imagine this image swapped out with a big metal storage container that's going to fill the whole page, or this image swapped out with a metal storage container. Right,
that would be that's too much of a hero image, especially since metal containers are not that interesting.
Right.
But that is the product that we're talking about, so the challenge is making it look good.
Within the design limitations of the site.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, going through this site, it's not a bad site. It's actually kind of a neat site.
Right.
I like the parallaxing. I like the different sections. And if I were selling clothes, I don't like that guy. He looks mad.
Yeah, very mad.
Wake up, bro. We're taking your picture. So this site itself is not bad, but inappropriate for the client that we're talking about.
For the content, yes.
Yeah. So I went back and I fired back and I said, why don't we use something that's a bit more industrial, a bit tighter? And this was the one I recommended, Caterpillar, that do heavy equipment manufacturing. The site, I mean, it's not going to win any awards for design, but you can see it's just presenting the products in a whole lot better fashion.
Yes.
Without any distractions, without you having to scroll on and on. I mean, the page is only this long. Get people into the sections you need them to get into. Here's our storage containers. Here's our portable containers. Here's our payment options. Here's our design studio. Done and done.
And it looks good at the same time, so it's functional and it has good design to it.
Exactly.
Without being pretty. Without being too glitzy, I guess.
Right. And distracting from the overall message, which is to buy a big metal box.
Exactly. Exactly. Not to buy a hipster.
Right. Not to buy a nose piercing.
Yeah.
Do you have a nose piercing?
I don't. I had one, but I took it off.
As soon as I said it, I was like, crap, I wonder if she has one.
No, I used to.
Did I see it when we were working together?
No. Took it off like 5 years ago.
Fair enough.
Yes.
So one of the things that I think is really relevant when we're talking about our tip of the week is to really don't over-design stuff.
It's a really good picture you got there.
You like that?
I do.
As a designer, I bet you probably run into this a lot where someone's like, well, let's change this, and can we do this, and can we modify this, and can we modify that? So how do you deal with the personality of somebody who wants to over-control their own project without losing your creative, losing the reason why they hired you in the first place?
Usually it's how you present to them the process. I make sure that they understand that they need everything, such as like what their demographic is, who they're targeting, what their values are, all that stuff. And then I go online and I say, okay, well, this is for everything that you told me, this is what you need. And if they start saying, well, no, or this is, or like they start saying a lot of changes, I try to guide them as much as I can and explain to them what it is that they need and why they need it.
Good.
But ultimately it is their decision.
Okay.
Then ultimately it's their money that I have to charge because it's per hour. So
Sure. And you got, but it's got to be frustrating, right? When someone's like, no, do this a little bit, do this a little bit, do that a little bit. Do I do that when I hire you? Am I that guy?
No.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Say it. I'm not going to be.
No, you're not that guy. But I've had clients do that to me. I've had clients tell me, I've had a client just tell me that they want me to work and then them stand over my shoulder. And I said, hey, if that's how you work, and then if that's comfortable for you, that's fine, because that means that you know what you want at that point.
Right.
So I don't mind doing it, but just know that it's going to be this much an hour. It depends how long it's going to take.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Was that client a creeper? Were they like smelling your hair while you were working and stuff?
No. Actually, we haven't had the meeting yet, but I will let you know how that goes. Yeah.
Follow up on the creeper status.
Yes, please. I'll let you know when the meeting is too, so you watch out for me.
Nice. Yeah, I got your back. the other thing is that, we always say that a website or a web presence is always evolving. You're not going to get it right the first go around. You never are. Think about something that is really design inspired, like Apple products these days, right? Super, super nice. But if you go back years and years, Apple products look like garbage for a really long time.
Yes.
And it takes a long time to get something perfect. So, we always tell people, let's go. Let's get this out there. Start getting some business. Don't waste time getting caught up on minute details that really aren't going to matter to anyone else except you.
Exactly. That is very true. And about what you're saying, a lot of times companies that have been in business for a while are the ones who are better to rebrand and to do all that because they know their process already.
Right.
They know what they're doing. And more than likely at that stage, they know what promises they're giving and what kind of voice they have.
Yeah.
So it's easier to design for them at that point.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we're getting toward the end of our show. Stephanie, give us your contact information again.
Well, you can reach me at castdesignteam.com. My phone number is 702-238-6163. Or email me at steph@castdesignteam.com.
STEPH.
STEPH. Yes, Steph.
And if you're looking to do any design projects and you want a marketing eye to kind of help as you're coming through the process, Post-Launch works with Cast Design on a regular basis. And you can always call us 702-800-2131 or visit us online at postlaunch.co. We're not a .com still. We're working on it though. If the bastard that has our URL will sell it to me for less than $6,000, I'll take it.
Oh my gosh. $6,000.
Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, stay drunk, and
stay high.
See you. We'll see you in the next iteration. Bye-bye.
Bye. And an outro.
Right? Sometimes I flip back and do this.
And then they come back, we're like... The duck face.
Here's me on my paddleboard. Hey, fellas.
Nice.
Did you like those avocados?
Margarita. Have you seen the Malibu commercial?